Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Today we're going deep into the mysteries of Nibiru,
Oh, yeah.
the ancient planet X.
Sounds intriguing already.
Our source this time is a YouTube video.
Okay.
It's called Aliens in Nibiru, the story of the original planet X.
Right.
And it's from the channel Extreme Mysteries.
I've seen that channel. They always have some wild stuff.
They do. This video, though,
Yeah.
it's all about ancient Sumerian cosmology.
Oh, wow.
You know, potential links to biblical stories.
Okay.
And maybe even a hidden planet
A hidden planet.
right here in our solar system.
Whoa.
Potentially home to
Extra.
the Anunnaki gods.
No way! No way!
Ready to dive in?
Absolutely.
Buckle up. Okay, so this video kicks off with something pretty familiar.
Yeah.
The story of Noah's Ark.
Oh, right. The flood.
Exactly, the Great Flood.
I remember learning about that as a kid.
And me too. But the Sumerians,
Yeah.
they had their own version of this flood story. And get this,
Boy.
it's even older than the Bible. Wow.
It's recorded on this tablet called the Enuma Elish.
Interesting.
And it's actually on display
Where is it?
at the British Museum.
That's amazing.
Talk about a tangible link to the past.
Right.
So this Enuma Elish,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't just tell the flood story.
What else does it do?
It offers a specific cause
For the flood.
for the flood.
Okay, I'm curious.
The gravitational effects
Of what?
of this mysterious planet,
The planet X.
Nibiru,
Oh, right. Nibiru.
passing by Earth.
Oh, so Nibiru causes the flood.
That's what the Sumerians believed.
Fascinating.
They thought Nibiru passing by
Yeah.
would cause these massive ice sheets to break off,
Oh, wow.
and that would lead to a catastrophic rise in sea levels.
Makes sense.
Pretty intense, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty dramatic story.
Totally makes you wonder if there's more to these ancient myths than meets the eye, you know?
I agree, there's often a kernel of truth in these old stories.
Right. Okay, so the video then brings up some ancient maps.
Ancient map.
What kind of maps? Ones that seem to show knowledge that ancient civilizations shouldn't have possessed.
That's interesting. Like what?
Well, for example, there's the Perry-Reese map.
The Perry-Reese map, huh?
Yeah, have you heard of it?
I have, but I don't really know much about it.
It's pretty amazing.
Okay.
It accurately depicts continents
All of them.
and even the topography.
What?
The topography beneath
Uh-uh.
the Antarctic ice sheet,
Wow.
all from centuries ago.
That's crazy. How did they know that?
Right, it begs the question, how did they know?
That's a good question.
And the video suggests that maybe advanced civilizations existed
Back then.
way back in the past,
Interesting.
and they may have been influenced by beings from Nibiru,
Okay.
and they had the means to map the Earth in such detail.
That's wild.
So let's talk about this mysterious Nibiru.
Okay, let's do it.
The video dives into the Sumerian model of the solar system,
All right.
which had 12 members,
12.
not the 9 we're familiar with today.
I didn't know that. Yeah, so they included the sun and the moon, of course.
Yeah.
But they also had this 12th planet,
Okay,
Nibiru.
so that makes 12.
And it's not just the Sumerians who were fascinated by the number 12.
Oh, really?
A lot of ancient cultures,
Yeah.
they placed a special significance on it.
Like they knew something.
Almost like they were hinting at a shared belief in this 12th celestial body out there.
Makes you think.
And what makes the Sumerians' claims even more intriguing
Yeah.
is their impressive astronomical knowledge.
Like what?
They could predict eclipses.
Eclipses.
Yeah.
How accurately?
With incredible accuracy,
That's impressive.
which suggests they weren't just making things up.
Right, we were paying attention.
So could their claims about Nibiru be based on real observations?
It's definitely possible.
A very thought-provoking idea.
It is. It is.
So the video describes Nibiru as an intruder planet,
An intruder planet. What does that mean?
meaning it wasn't originally part of our solar system.
No.
It was pulled in from elsewhere.
From where?
That's the mystery.
Right.
And its orbit
Uh-huh.
is influenced by a potential second sun,
A second sun.
which is mind-blowing in itself, right?
Yeah, that changes things.
And according to the Sumerians,
Okay.
one of Nibiru's moons,
Nibiru has a moon.
at least one, yeah,
Wow.
collided with Earth,
They collided with Earth.
which potentially created the asteroid belt and even shaped our planet as we know it today.
That's a pretty big impact.
It is. And they even claim
What?
that Nibiru has a 3,600-year orbital period.
3,600 years. That's a long time.
It's a long time to wait for a planet to swing back around.
It really is. So are they saying it comes by every 3,600 years?
That's what the Sumerian texts suggest.
Huh, that's interesting.
And what's interesting is that recent discoveries
Oh, yeah.
of planets
Okay.
with elliptical orbits around binary star systems.
You mean systems with two suns?
Exactly.
Wow.
Actually lends some scientific plausibility
To the Sumerian claims.
to what the Sumerians were saying thousands of years ago.
That's amazing.
So it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility, is it?
I guess not.
Now, let's talk about what Nibiru actually looks like.
Okay, what does it look like?
According to the Sumerians,
Yeah.
they depicted it as a glowing red
A
planet,
glowing red planet, huh?
often represented as a cross
A cross.
or a winged disc.
A winged disc. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's a common motif.
I wonder what it means.
Well, the winged disc imagery is particularly interesting.
Yeah, why is that?
It raises the question, could this be a symbolic representation of advanced technology?
Ooh, interesting.
Perhaps even spacecraft,
Spacecraft.
used by the inhabitants of Nibiru.
That's a fascinating thought.
Right.
It is.
And of course, we can't forget about the Anunnaki,
The Anunnaki.
the Sumerian deities associated with this mysterious planet. Were
Okay.
described in detail by the Sumerians.
Well, what were they like?
And they seem like more than just mythological figures.
Really? In what way?
Right, and the video draws some interesting parallels
Between what?
between the Anunnaki and the biblical tales of giants upon the earth.
Giants upon the earth. I see where they're going with that.
It makes you wonder if there's a shared origin for these stories, doesn't it?
It really does.
Could the Anunnaki be evidence of ancient alien contact?
That's a big question.
It is. But imagine, if we're discovering planets in distant star systems today,
Yeah.
why couldn't a civilization from another planet have visited Earth thousands of years ago?
I guess they could have.
And if so, what impact did they have?
That's what I want to know.
Me too.
Yeah.
So we've got this mysterious planet
Right.
potentially influencing Earth's history.
Yeah.
And maybe even home to advanced beings
Who visited our planet?
in distant past.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. Where do we even begin to unpack all of this?
Well, I think a good place to start is with the Sumerians themselves.
Okay.
The video highlights how they were surprisingly accurate
In what way?
in their descriptions of our solar system.
Oh, right.
Like, for instance, they correctly described the appearance of planets like Uranus and Neptune
They did.
long before we had telescopes powerful enough to see them.
Wow. That's impressive.
It's like they had an insider's view.
Like they were looking at our solar system from the outside in.
Exactly.
And they also knew that the Earth revolves around the sun,
Oh, wow.
a concept that wouldn't be widely accepted in Western civilization for centuries.
That's really ahead of their time.
And then there's this intriguing detail from the video.
What detail?
A Sumerian tablet depicting what looks like a rocket on a launch pad
A rocket.
from 6,000 years ago.
6,000 years ago.
That's a jarring image, right?
Yeah. It challenges everything we think we know.
It really does. It challenges our assumptions about the technological capabilities of ancient civilizations.
You've got to wonder what else they knew.
Right, and we can't forget about all those Sumerian seals and carvings showing the winged disc motif.
Oh, right, the winged disc.
Could these be more than just abstract symbols?
Maybe.
Could they be visual records left by the Anunnaki themselves, documenting their presence on Earth?
No, that's a thought.
It's a tantalizing possibility,
It is.
and it leads us to another big question.
That.
If this knowledge existed thousands of years ago,
Yeah.
why was it lost?
That's a good question.
Did something happen to disrupt the transmission of this knowledge?
Like what?
The video suggests
Yeah.
there might be cycles of knowledge in human history,
Cycles of knowledge.
with periods of great understanding followed by periods of darkness and rediscovery.
Oh, that's interesting.
So maybe we're just beginning to rediscover what the ancient Sumerians knew.
It's possible.
It's like we're piecing together a giant puzzle.
With each new discovery revealing another piece.
Exactly.
I like that analogy.
And this discovery of planets with elliptical orbits,
Oh, yeah.
it's a crucial piece.
A crucial piece of the puzzle.
It shows our understanding of planetary systems is always evolving.
We're always learning new things.
What seems impossible today might be commonplace tomorrow,
That's true.
which means, who knows,
Yeah.
maybe one day soon,
Uh-huh.
we'll have the technology
To do what?
to confirm the existence of Nibiru ourselves.
Wow, that would be incredible.
Wouldn't
It'd
it?
change everything.
It would be a game changer.
So, to sum up, we've got this mysterious planet
Right.
potentially influencing Earth's history,
Yeah.
and maybe even home to advanced beings.
Who visited our planet in the distant past.
It's mind-blowing.
It is. It really makes you think.
It does. So where do we go from here?
Well, before we get too ahead of ourselves,
Okay.
let's delve a bit deeper into some of the specifics of the Anunnaki.
That's it.
The video mentions Zecharia Sitchin.
Zecharia Sitchin.
Oh, right. An author who's written extensively about them.
I've heard of him.
His books, like The 12th Planet,
Yeah.
have fueled all sorts of discussions about ancient astronaut theories.
Right, and the possibility that extraterrestrials influenced human civilization. His interpretations of Sumerian texts are definitely controversial.
They are.
But they raise some thought-provoking questions about our past.
That's for sure.
I mean, if these stories have persisted for thousands of years,
Yeah.
could there be a grain of truth to them?
It's a question worth pondering, isn't it?
It really is.
But I think what really stands out to me
Yeah.
is how the Sumerians clearly understood that the Earth revolved around the sun.
That's true.
They weren't fooled by the geocentric model.
You mean the idea that Earth is the center of the universe?
Exactly.
Right.
Which dominated Western thought for centuries.
It's another testament to their advanced astronomical knowledge.
And remember,
Yeah.
they accurately described the appearance of Uranus and Neptune
Right.
long before we had the technology to see them directly.
It's almost as if they were given this knowledge by someone who had actually seen these planets firsthand.
That's a wild thought.
This whole deep dive has been a whirlwind so far.
It has been.
It's challenging us to reconsider what we thought we knew about our history and our place in the universe.
It really is.
It reminds us that there's always more to learn and more to discover.
That's for sure.
And that's what makes the deep dive so exciting. But before we get too carried away,
Yeah.
let's take a moment to gather our thoughts.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll delve even deeper into the mysteries of Nibiru and the Anunnaki.
Sounds like a plan.
I can't wait.
All right, so we're back and ready to go even deeper with these mysteries surrounding Nibiru and the Anunnaki.
Deeper we go.
I think before we went on that tangent about some of those really interesting details from Sumerian cosmology, we were talking about how this planet Nibiru is supposed to be so much larger than Earth.
Larger, yeah.
The video says it could be 4 to 8 times the size of our planet,
Okay.
which raises the question,
Yeah.
if it's that big,
Ah.
how have we missed it?
Good question. It's not like we haven't been looking.
Right. It's not like telescopes are a new thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we've got some pretty powerful ones these days.
So how have we not spotted this massive planet?
Well, the video addresses that, actually,
Okay, how?
by pointing out that Nibiru's supposed 3,600-year orbit
Right.
means
Right.
it spends most of its time
Where?
way out in the far reaches of our solar system.
Oh, I see.
It only comes close to the inner planets every few millennia.
Oh, okay. So it's not just hanging out,
Not exactly.
waiting for us to find it.
More like it swings by every few thousand years.
Like a cosmic visitor that pops in every now and then.
Yeah, kind of.
I have to say, though, the idea of this massive planet
Yeah,
hurtling through our solar system
every few thousand years.
is pretty dramatic.
It's a pretty wild idea.
Makes you wonder
So good.
if Nibiru actually exists.
Yeah.
When might it make its next appearance?
So what would happen when it does?
Right. What would that mean for us here on Earth?
Those are the big questions.
Would it be a catastrophic event, like in that flood myth?
Right, like the Sumerian tablets describe.
Or would it be something else entirely?
Maybe something good.
Possibly.
So many possibilities.
It's all very mysterious and intriguing, isn't it?
Very much so.
But let's shift gears for a second
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
and talk about the Anunnaki themselves.
The Anunnaki.
They're often portrayed as these super advanced beings
Advanced in what way?
with technology way beyond
Beyond what?
what ancient humans possessed.
Okay, yeah.
The video highlights their ability to travel between planets,
Interstellar travel, huh?
their deep knowledge of astronomy and genetics,
Yeah.
and even, according to Sumerian texts,
Yeah?
their involvement in the creation of humankind itself.
Whoa, hold on. They're saying the Anunnaki created humans.
That's what some people believe based on their interpretations of the Sumerian texts.
Wow, that's a lot to process.
It sounds like something straight out of science fiction, doesn't it?
It totally does.
But the fact that these stories have
Yeah.
been passed down for thousands of years makes you wonder
If there's some truth to them,
if there's some truth buried within those ancient myths.
that's a really compelling thought.
And the way the Anunnaki are depicted visually
Okay.
adds another layer of intrigue.
How so?
They're often shown as tall humanoid figures sometimes with winged helmets,
I've seen those depictions.
or riding in these winged discs.
Ah, the wing discs again.
We talked about those earlier, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Some people think they could be symbolic of spacecraft,
The Anunnaki's way of getting around?
traveling between Nibiru and Earth.
Interesting.
It's a theory that many researchers have explored.
It makes sense, in a way.
The idea that ancient civilizations might have interacted with beings from other planets,
It would definitely challenge our understanding of history.
it challenges everything we thought we knew
Raises some fundamental questions.
about our place in the universe.
Exactly.
It would be a paradigm shift of epic proportions.
Paradigm shift. Good way to put it.
To know that we're not alone in the universe
To know that we might have been visited in the past.
by intelligent life,
It would force us to re-examine everything
everything we thought we knew.
about our origins and our place in the cosmos.
Absolutely. It would change everything.
It really would.
Now, the video also mentions this interesting Sumerian concept
Yeah, okay, what is it?
of a char,
A chart.
which represents a complete orbit of Nibiru around our sun.
One full orbit.
And remember, that orbit is supposed to last 3,600 years.
Right, 3,600 years.
It makes our human lifespan seem like a blink of an eye.
It really does put things into perspective.
It makes you wonder
What?
what changes might occur on Earth during each passage of Nibiru.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Would it be a time of great upheaval, like that flood myth suggests?
Right, the flood.
Or could it also be a time of, like, technological advancement,
Yeah.
where knowledge is shared between the Anunnaki and humans?
That's a really interesting idea.
Right.
I like that.
These are fascinating questions.
They are,
The cyclical nature of Nibiru's orbit
as described in Sumerian cosmology.
suggests a pattern
Year of recurring events.
that could influence the course of human history.
Like a cosmic clock, almost.
Ticking away, yeah.
Shaping the destinies of civilizations over millennia.
Speaking of ancient knowledge,
Yeah.
remember that Sumerian depiction of a rocket on a launch pad?
Oh, yeah, that was wild.
That image still blows my mind.
I know, a rocket from 6,000 years ago.
It challenges our assumptions about what ancient civilizations were capable of.
Maybe they were more advanced than we give them credit for.
It makes you wonder what other secrets might be hidden in plain sight.
Secrets just waiting to be uncovered.
This whole deep dive has been a journey into the unknown,
It has been.
uncovering clues about our history from a civilization that vanished millennia ago.
A civilization with so much knowledge.
And speaking of the Sumerians' remarkable knowledge,
Mhm.
the video emphasizes how deep their understanding of astronomy and mathematics was.
They were ahead of their time in so many ways.
They accurately describe the positions and appearances of planets in our solar system,
Even planets they couldn't see.
even those that wouldn't have been visible to the naked eye.
That's incredible.
It's as if they possessed knowledge that
Yeah.
was far ahead of their time.
Like they had help from someone who knew.
And remember, they knew the Earth revolved around the sun.
A concept that took centuries to catch on.
So where did they get this knowledge?
Yeah, where did it come from?
Could it be from the Anunnaki?
As the video suggests,
Those advanced beings who visited Earth from Nibiru?
it's a possibility, isn't it?
That's the million-dollar question.
It really is.
Some researchers believe that the
Yeah.
Anunnaki shared their knowledge with humans,
Share their knowledge, huh?
possibly influencing the development of early civilization.
Like giving them a head start.
It's a theory that's been explored in depth
By who?
by authors like Zecharia Sitchin,
Zachariah Sitchin, right?
whose work has sparked so much discussion about ancient astronaut theories.
And the possibility of extraterrestrial influence on human history.
Whether you agree with Sitchin's conclusions or not,
I mean, some of it is pretty out there.
his work has undoubtedly opened up new avenues of inquiry
New ways of thinking about our past.
and challenged conventional thinking about our past.
It makes you think outside the box.
It's fascinating to consider
What?
that the stories we've always considered myths
Yeah.
might contain elements of truth,
Glimpses into the past.
glimpses into a past that's far more complex and mysterious
More mysterious than we ever imagined.
than we ever imagined. Yeah,
It's a reminder that our understanding of history,
is always evolving.
as we uncover new evidence.
Re-examine old assumptions.
This whole deep dive
It's been a whirlwind.
of information and speculation.
It's incredible to think that the answers to some of the biggest questions about our origin
The origins of humanity.
might be hidden
Hidden where?
in the writings of a civilization
The Sumerians?
that vanished thousands of years ago.
It's amazing how much they knew.
Exactly. But before we get completely lost
Lost word.
in the mysteries of the ancient world,
Okay.
let's take a moment to reflect
Reflect on what we've learned.
on what we've learned so far.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back.
To wrap up,
Our deep dive into Nibiru and the Anunnaki. We're back and ready to wrap things up.
Wrap up our deep dive into Nibiru and the Anunnaki.
We've covered so much ground.
Ancient Sumerian cosmology.
The possibility of a hidden planet.
Even ancient alien contact.
It's like we've been on our own archaeological dig.
Unearthing these fascinating pieces of information.
From a civilization that existed thousands of years ago.
What strikes me is how this video blends ancient mythology with modern science.
It really does. It makes you reconsider.
Reconsider what?
Or what we might consider myth versus reality.
Especially with all the scientific discoveries we've made.
In just the last few decades.
Things that would have seemed impossible back then.
Exactly. Like all those exoplanets we've found.
With those crazy elliptical orbits.
Just like the Sumerians described for Nibiru.
It shows you how much our understanding of the universe is evolving.
What seems far-fetched today
Could be accepted fact tomorrow.
That's what makes exploring these topics so exciting.
It's like we're at the edge of the unknown.
Peering into history and the cosmos.
Trying to make sense of it all.
One thing that really stood out to me
About the video.
about the Sumerians,
What about them?
they were so meticulous
Meticulous in what way?
in their record keeping.
Oh, right. Their attention to detail.
Oh, right, their attention to detail.
They documented everything.
Astronomical observations.
Historical events.
With incredible detail.
It's amazing.
Their ability to predict eclipses.
With such accuracy.
It really makes you think about their other claims.
Like the ones about Nibiru and the Anunnaki.
If they were so advanced.
Why did their civilization decline?
That's the question, isn't it?
What happened to them?
Historians have been debating that for centuries.
What are some of the theories?
There are a lot of them. Like what?
Environmental factors like climate change.
Okay.
Social and political upheavals.
It's a reminder that even advanced civilizations are vulnerable
Vulnerable to what?
to the forces of history.
It makes you wonder what secrets they took with them.
What knowledge might be lost?
Waiting to be rediscovered?
The video also asks,
Asks what?
if Nibiru exists,
Yeah.
what would its return mean for us?
That's a big question.
People have a lot of different ideas.
Some pretty wild theories out there.
Some think it would be apocalyptic.
Earthquakes, floods, disasters.
Others think it would be a new era.
Enlightenment, spiritual awakening.
It's amazing to think about all the possibilities.
From catastrophic to transformative.
The video doesn't give us any definite answers.
But it makes us think.
It reminds us that the search for knowledge never ends.
There are always new discoveries to be made.
So where does this leave us?
With more questions than answers, I suppose.
But that's part of the fun.
It keeps us curious.
It reminds us that there's still so much to learn.
About our universe and our past.
If the Sumerians were right.
There's a whole planet out there waiting to be discovered.
And who knows what secrets it holds.
Maybe one day we'll have the technology.
To answer these questions.
Till then,
The mysteries of Nibiru and the Anunnaki.
will continue to fascinate us.
Reminding us that there's always more to explore.
In the depths of space and time.
Keep asking those questions,
Keep
everyone.
searching for those answers.
And who knows what incredible discoveries await.